Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jessica Blasco. Through a program called Every 15 Minutes, a mock car crash was held at Freedom High School, giving students a wake-up call about the dangers of drunk driving.
In life, experience is really our best teacher. Unfortunately, when the topic is alcohol or texting while driving, experience is really not the teacher of choice. We don't want anyone to truly have to go through an experience where they would change an attitude, subsequently a behavior from an experience that they went through themselves. And every 15 minutes, it offers a very real life experience, but the great thing is it doesn't have any risk or tragedy that goes with it. And every 15 minutes places families, friends, siblings, into situations that feel very real to them. And the goal is to recreate a crash scene, and from that crash scene, show all the possibilities that could happen, whether they be death, whether they be a drunk driver, perhaps maybe they're lucky that they do live, but they're paralyzed. Maybe they just have minor injuries, drunk driving, and show all those possibilities and utilizing school students from the school to be able to walk that walk and experience that experience. Subsequently followed up with the next day event where students will be able to personally give a personal testimony, and parents, of their experience.
Northampton County 911, number 4, where's your emergency?
There's a really bad accident right by Freedom High School.
By Freedom High School? Do you have an address for that, ma'am?
I think it's 3149 Kessler Avenue.
What township is that?
Bethlehem Township.
How many vehicles, ma'am?
2 that I can see.
2 vehicles? Okay, do you know if anyone's injured there?
Listening to the students recount their experience, it became obvious that each of those involved was deeply impacted.
The goal is two phases. One is that those individuals that are participating in the school community walk away with a message of the serious consequences of making poor choices. That it's the choices that we make that shape our future. And sometimes it's not only just about us, but some of our choices will affect so many other people. And that we can walk away from this experience that whether we are in a situation that we are now educated to really the impact of this program and we choose not to do it, or we know of another friend or someone else that's in that situation, and that we are leaders that want to step up and help them get out of that situation. That's first. Second is that hopefully that the people who were so touched will go and share it with so many other communities. And the goal would be that every school across the country can do an every 15 minutes program for their student body. Because I asked myself, why wouldn't you? If you really knew the impact that we experience here, the question would be, why wouldn't you? How could we afford not to do it? Whatever it takes, whatever time it is, the impact that happened from this program will live forever and ever with those who participated in it. And when you can make that effect that we heard from testimony of parents and students who had the opportunity to go through what they said, you want every student to have the opportunity. You want every family to have the opportunity.
Almost all of the student body was affected by the Every 15 Minutes program, but none so much as those who actually participated in the crash, like Dylan Marquith, who acted as the drunk driver.
It honestly was just a terrible experience. Like the cop coming up to the door, pulling me out, like all beer cans falling out and stuff. You just feel like it's just disgraceful, you know, being walked around in handcuffs and doing all these like drunk tests, you know, testing you, getting put in cop car, you know, driven to the police station. Like they took my prints, they mug shots. I was in the cell for like half hour. They put me in a jumpsuit, and I just felt like all fingers were pointed at me, you know, and it's not really a good situation that you want to be in. It was fake, but like still, like all the emotions still come out, and it's not easy.
Although Marquith survived the crash, he realized that because of drunk driving, his life would be ruined as well.
It's not worth it. Like in this whole thing, I killed 2 people. 1 girl got paralyzed. My max sentences was 20 years, but they ended up sentencing me 8 to 16 years. Which is still like a lot, you know what I mean? It's a whole lifetime. I'm 18 years old. In 8 years, I'll be 26. It's like I missed all of college. I missed like my 20s, my 21st birthday, and like who's gonna hire you? You know, like you killed 2 people. That's on your record for the rest of your life, and it's just not worth it.
Markwith hopes that his fellow students learned the same lesson from witnessing the crash and its aftermath.
I think it's good to teach kids a lesson, you know, show them they get like the real feel or reactions, you know, of what it's like and what a real scene looks like, you know what I mean? Like these cars are totally smashed, like they didn't even look like the regular car, and I just think it's the only way kids are gonna learn, you know what I mean? Just visuals.
Students weren't the only ones affected by every 15 minutes. It proved to be very eye-opening for the parents of those involved also.
It was devastating. It was devastating to say the least, especially since one of the victims grew up with my son playing football and other sports. So the fact that we had to face those parents in court, it was a very gut-wrenching experience, one I hope I never have to really go through.
For the parents, the idea of what if was more than they could bear.
It's a terrible thing for us to stand here and witness our son who caused this pain to all these people. It was an incredible experience, very powerful, very emotional, something that I think that every child, if given the opportunity, should experience. It really brought to life the reality of what happens to all the families involved when such a horrific accident occurs. Extremely emotional, as I said, and to the point where I even lost sleep over it last night. It was difficult to sleep even knowing that this was not real, but it seemed real to us. It was absolutely terrible to think that our son could commit such a senseless crime or cause such a horrific accident. And it was unbelievable to actually hear some people in the crowd when he was being handcuffed actually, you know, applauding that, you know, and you almost felt people looking at you differently immediately. Like, how could your son do this? How could you allow your son to be this type of person? You really do take it very personal.
Michael Kosha played the victim, who knew not to drink and drive. But unfortunately, he lost his life anyway because of someone else's poor judgment.
When I got put in a body bag, I mean, I was just thinking, like, what if my life was really over and stuff, and everything I worked for and stuff was over because of one mistake? And, like, it just made me realize how, like, thankful I am for everything and stuff like that.
For Michael's parents, witnessing their son being put into a body bag and later seeing his casket was an experience they never could have imagined.
It was really scary. We suspected that him and I, because my husband had been out of town the night before, that he was going to be one of the victims, but which victim we don't know. And they pulled his tarp off, and I see him there as clear as can be. Still didn't know if he was the one that died or what. Then they put the blanket over him, and you knew. And it's like your heart just stops and everything freezes. And the hardest thing for me, all day I kept saying, "This is not real. This is not real." That's how I basically got through it. But seeing him get zipped up in that body bag was a sight I never ever want to see again, and it was so real, so real. I don't know how these kids did it, and yeah, it was difficult.
I was on the road when I got the phone call that he was the crash victim. I raced back home to be in the courtroom. It sort of hit me in the courtroom. Last night's retreat reinforced it, but when I walked in here today and saw the casket, I immediately went looking for my son. The casket really hit home that it very easily could have been him. It was quite nerve-wracking and shocking to see him there.
The Kosha family wants every student to walk away from this program with a new perspective on drunk driving, and hopefully many lives will be saved because of it.
If this program saves one life in all the years that it's been going on, it's well worth it. I think these kids today, if they did not get an eye-opening experience, they never will. You can only teach them. You can only help them so much, but it's up to them to absorb it and realize that this is what they need to do.
I hope to God that no one has to really truly live this, because it's not fun. It's heartbreaking, and whether it's your child or just seeing someone else's child go through it, but hopefully it worked and some lessons were learned.
For more information about the Every 15 Minutes program, visit their website. At Freedom High School, Jessica Belasco, TV2 News.